Hey everyone, Coach Clark here with the CanWest Games. Just wanted to share a few of my thoughts about what's happening this season and wanted to talk about our model that we've been pushing, essentially that this is your games day. So first and foremost, guys, I would like to thank you so much for all the support. We've had over 1,200 athletes now register for the online qualifiers. We've seen great endorsement and feedback from amazing athletes like Brent Fikowski and Emily Abbott. And ultimately, guys, it seems like everyone in the Northwest is getting on board with the CanWest Games, and that's exactly what Tom and I wanted, and we couldn't ask for anything more. One of the very interesting things that we've pulled from the statistics is that roughly 60% or more of the athletes that have registered for the CanWest Games online qualifiers are in the scaled masters or teens divisions, and only 40% of the athletes are in the RX divisions. And that really resonates with Tom and myself because we actually started the CanWest Games to kind of give all the athletes of the Northwest an opportunity to have their kind of games experience. And if you think back to your childhood, we can all kind of recognize the difference between having kind of a practice game versus an actual game. And if you were play soccer or baseball or whatever it was, often you go to practice and kind of just go through the motions, and they may not be all that exciting, and you kind of just go there to kind of, once again, go through the motions. But when it came to the weekend and it was game day, there was a whole different element present. There was a sense of excitement. There was, you kind of upped your game. You upped your motivation to try to improve and be the best you can that weekend. And with that brings a lot of things, guys. It brings a sense of pride. And it ultimately helps build things like sportsmanship and character. It doesn't really matter. Often, obviously, winning feels great, and when you win a game, it's an exceptional feeling. I was a competitive free skier for a long time, and I was fortunate enough to stand on the podium several times, and it's a very exceptional feeling. But when you lose, or when you crash, or when things don't go as well as you had planned on game day, you can often learn a very valuable experience about yourself and about your character. And so there's something to gain from both winning and losing and getting a chance to compete in a games-like experience. And then, of course, guys, there's the environment that's brought to the table at that games day. There's something very special about going out on a professionally set up venue with professional equipment and thousands of people in the crowd cheering you on. You just got to experience it, put it that way. I was very fortunate in the early days of training to make it to regionals a couple of times when it wasn't so difficult and it wasn't so elite. And I got to experience competing at regionals, and it really reminded me again of being a competitive skier and just how amazing that feeling is to have a games day. And essentially that's why Tom and I started the CanWest Games, and we wanted to bring that experience to you, the athlete. So here we are, guys, just about a week away from kicking off the online qualifiers, and I wanted to share this video with you because I want you to sign up and get involved with all the other athletes and all of us that are going to partake in the online qualifier starting on May the 4th. I'll leave you with one thing, guys. I know there's one motto that I've always kind of lived by in my life, and that is that essentially in the end, we only regret the chances that we didn't take. And I like to put myself out there, and I find sometimes you get knocked down, and other times you get rewarded, but ultimately you always learn a lesson, and that's what's going to advance yourself as a person. That's what's going to improve your identity of yourself and help build your character. So guys, I can't thank you enough. Thanks again for supporting the CanWest Games. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and click on the button below and register for the online qualifiers and get involved with the thousands of athletes here in the Northwest about to kick off the CanWest Games.